Good evening and welcome to Bernlohr Field here at Bernlohr Stadium. Jimmy Bloomfield here with you tonight as we kick off the men's soccer season here in Bexley, Ohio. In town tonight is Loras College, a very formidable opponent to start things off in classic Coach Yost style, really stacking up the strength of schedule and non-conference play, and no exception this year with Loras coming in last season went at 14-7-2, a 6-2-1 record in their conference, the American Rivers Conference. And they're here all the way from Dubuque, Iowa, to take on Capital here tonight. They're in the purple uniforms you see to the right, and Capital will be here in the white uniforms for the home side. Let's get to our starting lineups here at the stadium.
Number 0, Connor Sexton. At midfield, a sophomore from Cincinnati, number 3, Josiah Campbell. At defense, a freshman from Cincinnati, number 4, Samuel Yoakum. At midfield, a freshman from Gahanna, number 8, Tony Epstein. At forward, a sophomore from Reynoldsburg, number 9, Varun Funge. At forward, a sophomore from Hilliard, number 10, Devin Hess. At midfield, a junior from Lewis Center, number 16, Jack Kasuji. At defense, a junior from Toledo, number 19, Jarrett Puckett. At midfield, a sophomore from Blacklake, number 21, Ryan Caruso. At forward, a sophomore from Lewis Center, number 27, Colin McComb. At defense, a sophomore from Mainville, number 28, Colton Doherty. The Comets are coached by Alan Yost and assisted by Mitchell Hughes, Giovanni Salinas, and Austin Beeler.
And welcome back up here into the booth. The national anthem will be coming up shortly, but we'll fill some time in the meantime here. An interesting matchup on the coaching side of things. You've heard Coach Yost just get announced there at the end. And former great here at Capital, 2021 Hall of Famer Stephen McCarthy is actually the head coach of Loras College at Capital. He was a two-time All-American, Division III Player of the Year, a two-time OAC Forward of the Year, four-time All-OAC First-Team Selection, many more accolades and awards as well. He's the current record holder at Capital for points with 156 and goals with 69. And Mr. McCarthy will be celebrated here at halftime. They're going to do a little tribute video for him. And didn't get a chance to come to the 2021 Hall of Fame ceremonies here at Capital last year because Loras was playing in the NCAAs. So they're going to do that here tonight, this afternoon, or this evening at halftime. So keep an eye out for that, celebrating one of Capital's finest. And a nice little homecoming here for him, and maybe explains a little bit more of why a team from Dubuque, Iowa is all the way here in Bexley, Ohio, just outside of Columbus. But it'll be a fun matchup for Coach McCarthy, a little bit of a homecoming for him here, and we'll see what his team can bring to the table. We're going to go to the national anthem, and we'll be right back with kickoff shortly after here from Bernlohr Stadium. And we're back up here in the press box once again. We should be getting underway here shortly. And just to pass along those starting lineups for you if you're just tuning in as well. First for the visitors of Loras College out of Dubuque, Iowa. It's going to be the senior in net, Owen Johnson. He's joined by Lucas Sampson, Jared Block, Felipe Ramirez III, Kevin Kukaba, Reed Meklovich, Jose Cardenas, Taylor Swell, Michael Brandt, Kyler Donovan, and Michael Kutsaponagos. And for Capital, Connor Sexton gets the start in net tonight. He's a sophomore out of Delaware, Ohio. The goalkeeping situation for Capital this year, much like more in recent years, kind of a committee right now and waiting for someone to kind of take this job. So we'll see if Sexton rides it out the whole time or if we see a second goalkeeper in the second half, which we have seen in previous years at the start of different seasons for Capital. Joining the goalkeeper Sexton, Josiah Campbell, Samuel Yoakum, Tony Epstein, Varan Fange, Devin Hess, Jack Kasuji, Jarrett Puckett, Ryan Caruso, Colin McComb, and Colton Doherty. Some familiar names on that list. And this is a young team. It's going to be built mainly around its juniors and sophomores. There's a few seniors on the team. But it's mostly the sophomores and junior class that they're going to be riding hard on early in the season. And there's some really talented freshmen on this team as well. And we see a few of them in the starting lineup, Yoakum and Epstein, namely. And we'll see what others, that come in off the bench as well can bring to the table for this Capital team. So a lot of fresh faces, but a lot of ones that we're used to seeing. Another one that we're used to seeing out there, Jack Francisco, today out for today's game. So we won't see him tonight, but he may be able to play tomorrow, from what I'm told, against Case Western. Getting some Timmy trumpets here to start us off. Popularized by the Mets closer and has kind of exploded in popularity, so not surprised to hear that one before the start of the game. Loras will get the first kick to start things off. It's going to be their captain, Kevin Kukaba, to start things off, and he kicks it all the way back into the midfield, and we're underway. Loras College again, 14-7-2 last season. I mentioned 6-2-1 in their conference, the ARC, American Rivers Conference. Capital had some success last season, kind of an up-and-down conference schedule for them. They ended up finishing on the year in the quarterfinals, or semifinals, I should say, of the OAC Championship. In a quick shot here is blocked already off the gate. Fange and Hess trying to get something going in the corner here. Hess and Fange still working together. Fange now gets some space on the outside. More on that in a second. As Puckett playing it forward now. Swings it across. There's some space up there. That's Josiah Campbell. And Campbell will try to kick that off of Loras, but miss. So it's going to be a throw-in for the Dewhawks. Capital finished in conference 4-4-1 last season. They barely snuck into the tournament at the 6th spot. They played Wilmington at Wilmington, who was the 3 seed, and a high-scoring game back on November 2nd. Capital won that one 4-3, which set up a road match with the number 1 team in the conference, John Carroll. Capital's season ended on November 4th in the OAC semifinals. 4-1 was the final from that game. And this season, Capital is projected, per the coaches' poll, to finish 4th. So getting a lot of respect from the conference and their peers. John Carroll projected to win the conference once again. Goal kick coming here for Loras College. So they're the Dewhawks, which definitely begs the question, what is a Dewhawk? And did the research on this one. So it dates all the way back to 1924, and their football team traveled. They were known at the time as Columbia College, and the Columbia football team went to a game in Detroit to face the University of Detroit. And there was a writer for the Detroit Free Press that didn't know what the nickname was for this Columbia football team because they didn't have one. The week before, they had beaten the Columbia Co-Hawks, obviously getting the Co from Columbia there. And at the time, again, Columbia didn't have the nickname. I'm sorry, Co-College was the Co-Hawks, and Columbia didn't have a nickname, so the writer just went with the Dubuque Hawks and later referred to them in the same story as the Dew Hawks. There was a whole thing then the next year. The school wanted an official nickname. They threw out a list in a contest to have someone pick a team name, nickname for this new school, kind of similar to how Capital has recently changed their name. And they offered a cash prize and all that. They voted on 15 different nicknames, and no one knows whoever won because the next year they were called the Dew Hawks. So that's kind of the weird story. Just think of it as a hawk. Their logo looks like a hawk, and the Dew would be from the city of Dubuque, which is where they're from. That one was dribbled out of bounds, I think. Yeah, goal kick coming here for Capital. Loras College is moving from right to left in the purple uniforms. Capital obviously left to right in the home whites. And Sexton will get it back into play. He's taking his time here and letting the team get down the field. Sexton played in 9 games last year, which was the most of the 4 goalkeepers that are all on the roster again this year. Landon Hine, Kellen Sargent, and Brady Friedel, the other 3 on the roster. Sexton had the most minutes in net. He had the best GAA at .95. He had the most saves at 26. And he had the best record at 4-1-1. So he was kind of the guy that was the most solidified force for them in the net. But he played 570 minutes, and everyone else in net played at least 345. So it kind of gives you that breakdown of it is truly a committee. Corner kick coming here for Capital. We're just about 5 minutes in, and that goes over everybody's head and out of bounds through the end zone here. And then on the other side, Owen Johnson. He did not play a single minute in net last season for Loras College, despite being a senior out of Appleton, Wisconsin, just south of Green Bay. And you'd expect that he'd have a lot of minutes maybe in net as a senior, at least some minutes in net. But he did not play any. Last season was dominated by Connor Fitzpatrick, who had a 1.32 GAA over 1,800 minutes in net for Loras College. Also worth noting for the Dewhawks is that they're without their top 3 scorers from last season. Juan Jose Arias Mondragon, Patrick Clancy, and just their top 2 is Reed Miklovich is on this roster. He just has a number change, went from 26 last year to 10 this year. He's a junior out of Frankfort, Kentucky. So with his 7 goals, he's the leading returning scorer for the Dewhawks. Kevin Kukaba and defender Kyler Donovan also on that list. And for Capital, they lost a few players, Sam Spurk being one. He had 4 goals last season, which was 3rd on the team. As a throw-in here from the near side, Puckett throws it right to Johnson in net. 6 minutes in, no score. Mitch Hughes was on the roster last year, and Mitch is actually still around. He was added to the coaching staff as an assistant coach. He was the 2021 Academic All-American, 3-time All-OAC selection, and 2-time captain for the Comets. Not surprising to see him stick around. And he'll be an assistant on the staff while he is pursuing his medical school degree from OU's Dublin campus, Ohio University, that is. So good to see Mitch on the sidelines here. As the man sitting next to Coach Yost on the bench right now as they're talking. I saw Coach Yost before the game in his usual kind of calm demeanor beforehand. Johnson kicks it up. Good distance on it. A header pushes it along, and it's knocked away now by Samuel Yoakum. Yoakum, a freshman, starting in the middle of that defense. Whistle here will give a free kick now to Loras. And they'll use the defender here to take the kick, Kyler Donovan. Donovan still waiting for everybody to get organized. Everybody's kind of bunched up, as you can see, at the top of the box. The ball does go loose here, and it's kicked wide off of a Comet defender. Not sure who that caught on the way out there, as it was swung in by Reed Miklovich. Corner kick coming now for Loras, and it's going to be headed out here by Yoakum. Fange with some good follow-up defense, and then it's kicked out of bounds on the other side. So Cap kind of catches a break there, but gives it right back, and now Sexton will field that one off of a few hops. So nothing going on too crazy yet in the early going here. I don't think, I guess we've had a couple of shots, technically. McClavic has one for Loras. And the Capital shot leader was Devin Hess, who was credited for a shot early in that initial push there when him and Fange were on the near sideline. Fange gets the throw in here from Puckett now, and immediately it's taken away by Kevin Kukaba. And that's going to go. Is that in? No, the official's looking at it. And he says it never went in. He was on the line. I'm not sure what happened with Sexton there. Completely misplayed it. And then it went towards the sideline out of bounds. And it was kind of saved there by the Loras player. And then I believe that was Jared Block, who was the first one there, kind of tried to tip it in. And it towed that yellow line. The official was standing right on the line, looking down the line, looking to see if the entire ball crossed over the line. Puckett kind of sweeps it out. And an unfortunate bounce. I guess they call that a shot off of the post. And it was actually Felipe Ramirez who took that shot off the left post. Number 6, not number 5. And, wow. It looks weird in the box score, but a near miss there for a very near goal, I should say, for Loras College there. Alex Bousselet, by the way, has checked in now for Kukaba there in that exchange, as this one's headed over the crossbar for another corner kick for Loras. Bousselet was a key player last season, scoring 4 goals, which was 5th on their team. And he's actually the 3rd leading scorer returning to the roster this season for Loras. So not in the starting lineup, but gets in early in the first 10 minutes. Now a foul is called against Loras on the corner kick, and Capital get possession and somehow breathe out of that situation without letting a goal in. Just a complete misplay. It kind of just developed out of nowhere, that whole situation, and then Ramirez, I don't know if he thought he was going to be called off sides. It just kind of looked like he didn't kick that with a lot of authority, and it just kind of rolled off of the post and rolled off of the goal line, and a very bizarre scenario leads to nothing of an event there. And now Sexton, he get kicked out of the game? No, he's back in. I don't know what that situation was. No, he's out. It looks like he's going to come right back in. I don't know what happened. He's changing his glove. He might have had an equipment issue, and because of the equipment issue, the official made him get off of the field. And so that's what the reason for the delay here is. And now Sexton is standing, ready to come back into the game, right next to Coach Salinas there, the goalkeeping coach. And for the meantime, Brady Friedel's checked in. Friedel might have to send this one back into play before Sexton can get back on. And he does just that. Well, we expected a goalkeeping carousel, but not exactly in that fashion this early on. Sexton will probably be able to check back in here after this free kick. It's kicked all the way down in towards the box, headed away. Sexton stays on the sideline for now. And kind of a close quarters battle here on the near sideline. That's going to be kicked off of Yoakum and not a bounce. So Friedel will stay in net. Doherty kicks it out of bounds. And this whole situation continues on. Going to be a throw-in from the near sideline here, so see how close it gets to the front of the net. Actually, not a bad throw-in at all. Got right in front of Friedel, who pushed it away, and now Fange's there. 3 defenders converge. Ramirez comes away with it. Fange wants the handball, not going to get it. Puckett now knocks it away. That one's headed towards Friedel, who'll catch it out of the air. So he was just kind of thrown into the action, was Friedel in net, but he's actually kind of holding it down. We're still waiting on Sexton to come back in. He's still on the sideline in the substitution area, so maybe just waiting for a whistle here to get back into the game now. Another one crossed in towards the box. Friedel's there once again to cut off the angle. Good strong kick across midfield, finds the head of Devin Hess. Fange, actually, I'm sorry, that was number 21, Ryan Caruso. Kasuji finds the back here of Puckett. Fange was calling for it. They couldn't get it his direction. Looking for some space now is Epstein, and they'll have to swing it all the way around. Doherty, the sophomore in the middle of this defense here. Josiah Campbell on the outside as an outer back. You have a sophomore, a freshman, another sophomore, and then Puckett here, the junior, on that back line. Puckett sends it towards the box. It bounces up in the air. The goalie gets taken out. Hess shoots it off the post, but he's not even going to get credit for that shot as there's a foul before the play. Hess trying to plead his case to not get a card here as there was a collision with Johnson. Johnson's slow to get up. He's going to be okay. Hess has not been presented with a card yet, and trying to say no ill intent there, and slaps hands with the captain on the other side there. So Johnson able to get back up 15 minutes in. Still no action on the scoreboard here, but we've come close on both sides. Loras able to get a really good push here off of the free kick. And they're putting a lot of pressure on Cap. And they're going to be called with a shove there. There's a little bit of a shove there. And sent Puckett to the ground. The ball went out of bounds off of Puckett, but they're able to keep possession with the whistle here. Long kick from Puckett off of the head of Block, out of bounds at about the 25. Goes out of bounds around the 35, so about 45 yards away from the net. Throw in coming, Kasuji wearing the captain's sleeve for Capital now. Sexton checks back in net. Nicely done by Friedel there. That was 5 minutes, but it was 5 hectic minutes for him in the net. He said his name a few times, so he was involved and did a nice job. Just kind of being thrown into the action. And if anything, it kind of illuminates to us where this depth chart may be for the goalkeeping situation for Capital. Friedel is clearly the number 2, as he was the one that was called upon to be thrown in that situation. .50 ball in midfield. This one's going to come out towards Capital now. McComb has it. And Colin working through 3 defenders. He's going to run into an issue now and gives it back towards the Dewhawks direction. Good defense here from Hess on the coming back from his forward position. And a whistle is going to give Capital possession. So they've held in here. We've seen a lot more possession from Loras so far as opposed to Capital, but credit the Comets for kind of hanging in there physically. So this will be Sexton's first free kick since coming back in. Again, not sure what it was. It had to be an equipment issue with his glove, because he kind of motioned towards Yost with his glove. With his hands were up in the air and kind of shaking, as if to say, like, oh, I need to get new gloves. And then it led to a timeout. It led to Capital having to change goalies for a few minutes. Thought it looked like originally he was kicked out of the game. I don't know what he possibly would have been kicked out for, if he said something to the official or something. I highly doubt that would have been the case, but just kind of a bizarre first few minutes in net for him to kind of, again, eliminate who the backup goalkeeper is right now for Capital. Loras comes away with it once again. Kind of a bit of a flop there, if you ask me. Oh, they get the whistle late as Soul goes to the ground. Good sell on that. I mean, there was some contact with the Capital defender and kind of grabbed at the back of his head there. But he never hit the ground, so I'm not sure exactly what he was going for there, but it worked to get the whistle. Oh, big collision in front of the net now. That was Cardenas and Sexton. And fortunately, the two of them did not hit each other. It looks like Sexton hit the ball out into Cardenas and then out of bounds. I guess it might have caught the goalkeeper on the way out because they're going to give him a corner kick here. It looked like it went off of Cardenas there. Free kick coming from the corner kick and looking for a teammate, but it's not going to find its way through. Another foul for Loras. A lot of pressure from Loras early on. 2 shots to 1 so far in terms of the actual statistics, but from a non-quantitative standpoint in terms of who's had better field position in that early on, definitely it's the Loras pressure winning out so far. Cardenas will leave the game now. And again, he's the one that kind of collided with the goalkeeper there. Actually, that's not Cardenas. That's number 13 instead, which is Michael Koutsipanagos. And he's the one that comes out. Cardenas stays in. And replacing Koutsipanagos was the man that's about to get the pass here from Loras. No, it's actually kicked away. He was wide open there. Owen Ivanek, number 25, checking in for Loras there. And like I said, he was wide open. Puckett goes to the ground now. Yellow card issued against Loras. Kasuji will lead the effort now in front of the box here and get everybody organized. And I'm sure Puckett will take the free kick. And he will. Puckett scored 2 goals from set pieces directly. Now, 1 in the OAC quarterfinals and 1 here against Muskingum last season. And he's got range. He can put this in the net if he wanted to. He's going to go for the pass, looking for a touch, and that was just drifting too high. Johnson able to grab it in the air. And he'll let things settle out now. The yellow card was issued to Sampson, Lucas Sampson, the senior out of Wheaton, Illinois. Sampson listed as a defender on the roster sheet here for Loras. And Loras already back on the attack, having it deep into Comet territory. Throw-in coming. And it'll be taken by Jared Block here, the senior hometown guy out of Dubuque, Iowa. Block has a really good arm. Let's see how this throw works. Aggressive move from Sexton to come out and punch it away. Collision. A cross towards the net, a header up in the air, and that's way out of bounds. Off of the head there of Bousselet. I'm not sure why Kukaba has not come back into this game yet. And one of the captains on this roster came out within the first 10 minutes, and Bousselet is another great player on this Loras side, but interestingly that they take out their leading scorer to bring in the third leading scorer. You'd think you'd see them out there in the field together at some point. Bousselet plays it back up. Some more collisions here. Taylor Soul trying to get to that ball. And ran into a lot of Samuel Yoakum rather than the ball. 23 minutes left to play in the first half. Capital trying to find the high side of the field now. Lots of room up here. That's newly substituted Diego Rodriguez working defensively there for Loras. Campbell trying to find some room. Has a little bit here. A nice cross to the middle here from McComb. Tries to find Kasuji. Plays it off a few hops. Kasuji's shot is blocked. And now Puckett slows it down. Can anyone control it here from Cap? Oh, wow. Foul called against Capital there. Goes against Colin McComb. And that's going to alleviate the threat there. Kasuji didn't have any kind of shooting lane there. Did the best he could, but his shot gets blocked. But that shot there from Kasuji actually evens it up at 2-2 apiece in terms of the shot situation. Next home football game, reminder, September 10th, 7 p.m. That's Saturday night. Ohio Northern will be in town. Kutsapanagos checks right back in for Rodriguez here on the other side. Some other updates from around athletics capital. Women's team was in action yesterday. They played up in Cleveland against Case Western, number 12 ranked Case Western. And after a scoreless first half, they actually took the lead with the 55th minute goal from Avery Hart. After a equalizer less than 5 minutes later, Capital got back on top again in the 63rd minute. It was Avery Hart again with her second goal. And Avery Hart's brace was not enough because the next, from the 66th minute to the 74th minute, 3 goals were scored by the Spartans. And Case Western took the game 4-2 despite the great offensive effort there from Avery Hart. Capital was outshot in the game 26-9. But hung with a pretty good ranked team up in Cleveland to start their season. So we'll see the women in action for the first time here against Dickinson on September 11th. That'll be next Sunday. And they'll also play next Saturday, Hanover. Or not next Saturday, I'm sorry, the 17th, following Saturday. 1 o'clock game against Hanover College. And that one, I'll be here for that one on the 17th. So I hope you join us for that one, 1 p.m. start. And we'll have about 4 or 5 games deep into the schedule there for the women's side already before we get our first look at them on the broadcast. So we'll see what they've been able to accomplish and give us some storylines for that one. The men will be in action again tomorrow. We mentioned Case Western on the men's side will be in town. That one, I believe, is an afternoon kick, but let me double check that. Sorry, 7 o'clock kick as well tomorrow night. So same time, same place. And then they're out of town again until Denison on the 13th. Oberlin on the 21st will be our next men's broadcast. And that'll be a 7 o'clock kick on a Wednesday. Under 20 minutes to play here in this one. Still no score either side. Another substitution as Rodriguez checked back in. He's kind of playing off and on as he checked back in for McClavic. And Carson Woods checked in for Taylor Soul on the other side. Capital has not made any substitutions outside of the goalkeeping situation. And then just recently, Derek Harris has checked in for Capital. Harris, number 24. He is a striker out of New Albany, Ohio. The skinny on him, I've been told he's very fast. So we'll see if that comes into play or not. Corner kick, or throw-in coming, from the near sideline. Block throws it. Headed straight down by Yoakum defensively. It comes out to Harris. Harris misses his header. Working with Sampson. Harris trying to show off some of that speed that we just talked about. And he's able to at least win possession for Capital there, so nicely done. Cardenas had to kick it out of play there safely. Tried to kick it off of Harris, but wasn't able to. Turnover here for Capital, and numbers the other way. A cross attempt knocked down by Yoakum. Really impressive stuff from the freshman defender out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Samuel Yoakum has had a nice start to his Capital career. Corner kick from the far sideline. Headed away by Puckett. It looked like a hold there from Block. He gets sent to the ground now. Meanwhile, the ball is being just passed around heads, feet, and ends up coming out to the sideline off of Capital. Block originally looks like he's going to throw it in here. Sampson standing right next to him. Block is looking forward, though. Wants to push the pressure here. Throws it down towards the corner. Headed away by Yoakum. Rodriguez. Caruso comes away with it for Cap. And now they're off to the races. Caruso trying to outrun the midfielder here. That's Kusapanagos. Caruso able to move around him. On to the next defender. Caruso beats him. Passes it off of Kusapanagos. So nicely done by Ryan Caruso. Sophomore out of Blacklick. And Campbell will throw it in now for Capital on the far sideline. Campbell with the help from a header of Caruso. Second header, and it goes right to Johnson off of Harris's head. 16:05 to play in the first half. No score. 5 corner kicks for Loras, but just 2 shots apiece. And one cleared away to safety here. Looked like it was tipped by Loras, it was. And Cap trying to put the pressure on here on the counter. Harris around the defender, plays it ahead of McComb. McComb, Cardenas takes him out. Goes for the ball first, clean tackle. And nicely done by Jose Cardenas, the senior out of Eugene, Oregon. And he does a nice job to keep the pressure alive too here as he throws it in quickly. And immediately the ball is on Capital's end of the field. Last season, Loras College averaged over 2.3 goals per game, allowing 1.48. Capital scored 2 goals per game, 1.58 allowed. So kind of similar numbers, maybe a little bit of an advantage there to Loras. Both these teams able to score multiple goals in games with regularity. We're still waiting for the first strike here in this one. A shot that got blocked out of bounds again here. There's about 5 players warming up for the Loras side in their end zone. Looking down towards the sub area for Capital, I see about 2 or 3 people moseying about over there. So we might see some subs here in the last few minutes. Another shot towards the net here off the corner. Rodriguez header. Headed by Yoakum, and it's punched away by Sexton in a desperation effort. And he's able to keep it away. 2 subs coming on. Muj Abdel Ghani, sorry. Confusing him with Medjawad, last year's senior. Muj will check in for the first time, the senior. Hope to see him in the starting lineup soon for Capital. Great midfield talent out of Toledo. And Hamoudi, his younger brother, is on the roster this season as well as a freshman. And on the other side, Cole Bridson checks in. Ball straight up into the air. Sexton is able to win it. Sampson a little bit slow to get up here. And that draws the whistle here. Sampson's still down. Muj Abdel Ghani played in just 4 games last season for Capital. He was able to get 2 shots on net in those 4 games. Played very sparing minutes, had kind of a major leg injury last season, and was not able to get out there on the field as much as he'd want. And kind of similar situation today. Trying to get that fitness level back up. Muj played a lot as a sophomore, and that was kind of his best year here at Capital. Injuries got in the way last year and trying to work his way back in, so good to see him back out on the pitch. Sampson's still slow to get up, and we have kind of an injury timeout, we'll call it. So we'll step away for a few seconds here, come back when Sampson is good to go off the field. Sampson's making his way off the field here and definitely trying to toughen his way out through the field. Nice move here by Diego Rodriguez to try to help him out. Sampson says, I'll get off the field on my own here. So more of a serious injury than it looked like originally there for Lucas Sampson. And hate to see someone get hurt in the first game of the year. But Sampson will come to the sideline. He'll be replaced here by Noah Reed. And get a nice applause here from the crowd. 13:26 to play. Sexton will be able to kick this one back in again. Mentioned his younger brother on the team, Hamoudi Abdelghani. And I mentioned Medjawad there when I was trying to get Muj's name out there. Medjawad, he graduated as a senior last season. His younger brother, also on the roster this year, is Zaid Awad. He's a freshman out of Perrysburg, Ohio. So a couple of, call it familiar names, I guess, rather than familiar faces on this roster in the freshman class. But kind of cool to see that tradition carry on in their respective families. Will be a throw-in here now for Loras College working up the sideline. Up the far sideline, kicked up into the air. And an excellent play to keep that away from Harris. That's Kyler Donovan and Harris battling. Stolen by Loras, trying to keep the pressure going. Rodriguez looking for a pass. He's not going to get one. And coming away with it is Epstein. He pushes it up the field. Nice handling there from Caruso. Caruso able to free himself again. Drops it for Muj. He'll let it go. And Cap will slow things back down. Epstein and Puckett there. Puckett trying to send it forward. Hits off of Rodriguez. And it'll be a throw-in for Capital on the near side of the field. Thrown towards Abdel Ghani. Kicked out of bounds here by Michael Brandt. Puckett can get this into the box now on a throw-in here, so we might see Capital kind of stack up into the box. I've seen it a little bit, but honestly not as much as I would have thought. Kasuji will now join them. And maybe getting some help from Epstein as well now. And here's a little bit more traffic that we expected in front of the net. Puckett tried to find the head of Hess, missed it. Puckett now sends it too high to Kasuji, centering the header, trying to find Harris. Now Hess has it, kicked away from him, and excellent defense on the other side. Noah Reed tries to start it upfield. He gets shut down by Yoakum. Back to the back line of Loras now. Abdel Ghani putting on some pressure. Played back to Johnson. Harris tries to block the clear. And it'll find the head of Caruso. Cardenas tries the center. Unsuccessful. Epstein now. Kasuji. Some pressure here from Capital. See if they can get something out of this. Good ball handling there from Kasuji. And it'll be a throw-in on the other side. Puckett will throw it in again. A little bit of deja vu here. Throwing it in from a very similar spot as we just saw. 10 minutes left to play first half. Cap trying to get that first strike on the board. A low throw in there. Did not get enough power behind it. Nice slide tackle in from Yoakum. Abdel Ghani put some pressure on. And just kicked out of bounds by Doherty here to give some relief here for the Capital defense. Let some bodies in the midfield get back defensively. Looked like something promising was coming there, but not to be had. 3-2 shot advantage for Loras. And they look like they might get another one off here. Into the box, dribbling through. Goal kick? Yes. Another sub on the other side. Lots of subs we've seen for Loras. Checking out is Michael Brandt. Checking in is Owen Ivanek. Still just Harris and Abdel Ghani as the only subs for Cap to this point, with the exception of the goalkeeping situation that we talked about earlier. Suji plays the free kick quickly there after the whistle. He's trying to get a through ball into Harris. Tried to catch the Loras defense sleeping, but they were awake and ready for it. Cross off of the head of Yoakum. Really impressed with what we've seen from Yoakum. I know I said that just a few minutes ago, but he continues to be impressive in this one, and like what we see out of him. Rodriguez with the cross, and who else but Yoakum sends it away once again. It's got good spin on it, so it stays in play, and Capital able to get a clear rather than the corner. No numbers here for Capital. Hess might try to create something anyway. Gets it towards Harris. Harris! Oh, he had the first touch on it, but was not able to control that one. And some contact there with Kyler Donovan. Derek Harris almost had something there for Capital. Cap's defense really stepping up of late here. Even though some pressure's been down on this side, it feels like it's been more under control, and they've even been able to manage some counters here. Maybe there's some adjustment here Capital can see out there on the field from a coaching standpoint. And there's some lanes here. Kasuji now to Harris. Harris, offsides. Well, sometimes when you have that good speed, that'll happen. But yeah, there seems to be some fluidness here from this offense. It's starting to work a little bit. And Harris has been very involved since coming in for Fangay here. In the last, 10, 15 minutes or so, it feels like Cap's really kind of starting to turn it up a little bit on their end. Able to kind of flip the script. It looked like Loras was going to almost score here, certainly, in the first 20 minutes or so. And it probably should have scored that one on the misplay from Sexton and hitting the post and that weird play on the end line. And ever since that moment, it's kind of been more and more and more relaxed as we've gone on from Cap's side. And in the last 10, 15 minutes, pretty minimal threats at their own net, and they're even, again, starting to generate something on this end of the field. And I did not look much to my right here at the early going of this game. So I'm looking mostly to my left. So we hope to look more to the left in the second half when we switch sides. Throw-in will come here. Once again, checking out is Kutsapangos. And I think they just want me to say his name as many times as possible with, was it 5 or 6 syllables there? But we're doing pretty good. Thank you to the SID department, Sports Information Department over there at Loras for the pronunciations. Very much needed in this one. Kasuji at midfield for Capital, meanwhile. Tries to start another rush here. Hess plays it back. A lot of action on the near sideline, which has been nice as well, right down in front of us in terms of camera here at home. But there's a lot more room up on the high end of the field, and Capital is starting to try to test that. Caruso's had really fancy footwork early on, and a nice pass to Harris, who is once again offsides.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an invitation for any Capital men's soccer alumni to please begin making your way down to the track for the halftime ceremonies. Any Capital men's soccer alumni, please begin making your way down to the track for halftime. Thank you.
Brendan Hesse will check in here now next for Capital. Seen him a little bit last year. He's a sophomore out of Monroe, Ohio. You heard the announcement there for some alumni to come down to the field. That's because, once again, the head coach for Loras, Coach McCarthy, Stephen McCarthy, named to the Capital Hall of Fame in 2021, career points and goal leader here for Capital. And his first trip back since being named to the Hall of Fame, so a little ceremony was prepared for him for halftime. So do have some halftime entertainment for you in this one. That's coming up in about 4 minutes. Puckett swings it out wide. Campbell dribbles towards the corner, crosses it in low, and no one's home from Capital. Yoakum will try to keep that in play towards Campbell. A header won by Loras. And nice work by 2 players there, number 17 and 7. It's Williams and Bousselet working together there up on the far end of the field. There we'll get the ball all the way back to Sexton. So some former teammates of Coach McCarthy here at Capital in attendance as well. They're making their way down to the field. You might see some of that in the last few minutes here. 3:20 left to play in the first half. Puckett thinking about winding up for a shot. Puts it out wide for Kasuji. Crossed into the corner kick now. Brendan Hesse should be able to check back in, or check in for the first time here. And he's a 6-footer, so you want him in there. He's going to replace Caruso, also 6 foot, so no height change there, but some fresh bodies coming on for Cap here. And Brendan Hesse. Free kick on the corner here will be taken by Abdel Ghani. .235 to play and counting. So at the worst case here, you would think Capital's not going to be in too big of trouble from allowing a goal in the last 2 minutes here as the ball's on this end of the field. They play it all the way back, now sent back in, and another offside. So miscommunication, I think, there. Abdel Ghani sent it back into the midfield. Kasuji was there, and then he tried to play it on, and virtually everyone was offsides for Capital there. Under 2 minutes now. Both teams just trying to avert disaster, get to the locker room tied, I'd say, at this point. They'll send one down towards the corner. That has a lot of gas on it, and it's going to go out through the end zone. So Sexton has a few seconds here to gather it. Maybe run the clock down a little bit more and then get it upfield as far as you can here. Keep the pressure down on that end. Maybe something presents itself. Likely not. And you get into the halftime at a tie. But it doesn't get a lot of heat on that shot. And his clear has ended up all the way back down in front of his net. Plays it short with a pass. That looked risky, but was okay. Now Campbell gets the clear off. And out of bounds. Cardenas will throw it in quickly here for Loras. 45 seconds left. Kicked out of bounds by Capital. They'll get 15 yards, though. .35 seconds and counting now for Cardenas on the sideline. Thrown in, 2 headers from Loras. Off the foot of Hesse, and Hesse clears. Sent back in with a header from Block. Bousselet with a header. Down in front of the net, Yoakum gets a touch on it. Hesse with a header. Abdel Ghani with 10 seconds. Tries to get it to Hess. Not going to be able to. A swing back into the zone. Headed away one more time. And that does it for the first half. 5 shots for Loras, 2 for Capital. Kind of a quiet half after a stressful beginning to it. And both these teams starting to kind of level out. So it'll be interesting to see which team comes out with more in the second half. We'll kick it away now to the public address here for our ceremony for 2021 Capital Hall of Fame member Stephen McCarthy. And congratulations to him, and I hope you stick around and check that out.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield as we have a special halftime recognition this evening. Loras head coach Stephen McCarthy is a 2010 graduate of Capital University and was inducted to the Capital Hall of Fame in fall of 2021. A native of Dayton, Ohio, Stephen was a 2-time All-American and a 4-time All-Region, All-Ohio, and All-OAC selection. He was named the OAC's Forward of the Year twice, while also being named the 2007 Division III Player of the Year from the Ohio Collegiate Soccer Association. To this day, Stephen remains atop the leaderboard in 2 career records at Capital, most points with 156 and most goals with 69. After graduation from Capital, Stephen went on to play professionally with the Dayton Dutch Lions before kickstarting his coaching career. He and his wife, Samantha, also a 2010 Capital graduate, currently reside in Dubuque, Iowa with their son, Kai. Stephen is being recognized at midfield this evening by Capital President Dave Kaufman, Director of Athletics Dr. Darrell Bailey Sr., and current Capital Men's Soccer Coach Alan Yost, Capital Men's Soccer Alumni, Capital Alumni Director April Novotny, and also members of his family. At this time, we invite all in attendance to direct your attention to the video board for a short video reflecting back on Stephen's Capital career.
Stephen McCarthy, men's soccer forward, class of 2010. From 2006 to 2009, Stephen McCarthy made a name for himself as a soccer sensation at Capital University. Stephen was a 2-time All-American and holds records in career points and career goals. Throughout his Capital career, Stephen earned all-region accolades from the United Soccer Coaches and the National Soccer Coaches Associations of America. He was also a 4-time All-Ohio recipient and was recognized by the Ohio Collegiate Soccer Association as the 2007 Division III Player of the Year. Stephen also earned 4 first-team All-Conference awards, as well as being twice named the Ohio Athletic Conference Forward of the Year. Stephen went on to play soccer with the Dayton Dutch Lions, as well as the Columbus Crew. After graduation, he went on to earn a master's degree in recreation and sports sciences, focusing on coaching soccer. Stephen currently resides in Dubuque, Iowa, where he is head men's soccer coach at Loras College. Thanks to Capital, Stephen learned the importance of cultivating meaningful relationships with his peers. Congratulations, Stephen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Capital Hall of Famer Stephen McCarthy.
And most missed opportunities. Keep that one.
They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take your hand, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know you stopped me dead while I was passing by. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Ooh, see you.
We're about a minute away from second half action here at Bernlohr Field at Bernlohr Stadium. Jimmy Bloomfield here with you. Thanks again for joining us, and excited to see what the second half of action brings us. Like I was saying, at the end of the half there, it got really interesting in terms of it was closer to see if Capital was going to find a way to get on the scoreboard there. Things definitely kind of evened out, though. Loras definitely had the advantage early on. And don't want to say it was an overwhelming advantage in the second part of that half for Capital, but definitely more competitive and made it kind of a threat to see if they could tack one on. So it'll be really interesting to see who comes out firing here first. Capital will start with the kick here in the middle circle here, moving from right to left this time as we switch sides. And their home white uniforms. Fange will start things off. 45 minutes. And we'll see if anyone can find the scoreboard here first. Waiting for the whistle. Everybody looks like they're ready. Here we go. Fange kicks it back to Hess. And we're underway. It's the same starting lineup here for Capital in the second half. Kasuji has a little bit of a run early on here, but it goes over his head out of bounds. Rodriguez starts the second half here for Loras, and we still haven't seen Kukaba come back into this game. He only played 10 minutes. And like I said, that Busele substitution, it seemed early, and it had to have been for an injury situation because Kukaba is a main player on this Loras team. And don't know what happened. We didn't see any kind of injury, obviously, but he's not in there. So with Kukaba out, Rodriguez gets a little bit more action. And Woods is starting as well for Loras here, number 22. So his he played 20 minutes in the first half, but started on the sideline, but he's going to start in there. I believe he is in there for Michael Kutsapanagos, who we saw in and off in that first half of action, and I don't see him out there right now. The player we do see out there, Lucas Sampson, number 2. He's the injured player from Loras that we actually saw get hurt and left the field. He's back out there for Loras. So kind of a couple of different key players out with Kutsapanagos and Kukaba, both not on the field to start the half here for Loras. Of course, Jack Francisco out for Capital in this one, hoping he can make it way back on the field there tomorrow, but we're unsure of that. And if not, definitely would be ready to go by game number 3 next week. Another corner kick coming here. This will be the 7th for Loras in the game. They had 6 in the first half. Capital had 2. And they're winning the shot battle right now 5-2. Oh, that's a beautiful ball, and it's headered in by Loras College. It's Reed McClovic who finds the back of the net. A little bit of a celebration there. And McClovic will send the corner kick home there to give Loras an early strike here in the second half. 1-0 lead for the Dewhawks. McClovic had 7 goals last season and is the leading returning scorer from last season's team. And when Loras needed someone to step up and finally find the back of the net, Reed McClovic steps up and delivers. Excellent corner, excellent header, and from the defensive standpoint of Capital, not much you can do on that beautiful of a set piece there. That is how it's done. And Capital now will chase an uphill battle the rest of the way here to just try to equalize it. Sexton stayed in net, by the way, after the first half. We wasn't sure if they would make a change based on the whole committee situation. But that is actually not the case. They're going to keep Sexton in there and obviously concedes the first goal of the game here. Taylor Soule was the player who hit the free kick there on the corner kick for Loras. So Soule gets the assist on Miklovic's goal. And Loras looking for more now. Kicked out of bounds. Quick adjustment, I guess, from Loras. And when you've had 6 tries on the corner kick as they did in the first half, it gave them an opportunity to try to feel out what Capital was doing defensively to counter those corner kicks. And obviously they found the right combination. Ball's thrown in now. It's just down on the mat. And it's sent up towards the sideline now. Fonge is going to try to save it. He's not going to be able to. And a throw in for a block. Excellent ball to get that to Rodriguez. And Rodriguez now crosses it over, but cleared away by Capital once again. Another throw in for block. Throws it towards Rodriguez again. Caruso knocks it down. Caruso runs into Fonge, and then the two run into each other, and it goes out of bounds. Off of Capital. Another clear attempt. Excellent fight from Hess there to win that. Rodriguez comes back to help, but the pass gets off to Fonge. He's facing a double team, had to force a quick pass, goes out of bounds. Cap will have a throw in, so they're able to settle things down in the offensive zone. Well, obviously, the quicker you answer here, the better. It goes towards Johnson, unharmed, though. .40 minutes left. We just got underway here in the second half. A goal from Reed McClovic. The difference right now, a corner kick header. And the Dewhawks trying to score again now. A foul is called against the Dewhawks. Again, out of Dubuque, Iowa. Usually play more Illinois teams and from their conference. And just not used to seeing them make an Ohio trip, but obviously it makes sense with Coach McCarthy being his alma mater here. And his third season at the lead of the Dewhawks. Another foul called against Capital this time. Free kick coming now. Loras will make the most out of this trip here to Ohio as the free kick goes all the way back to Sexton. They're going to travel up to Ohio Wesleyan and take on OWU tomorrow. That's a 7 o'clock start for them there. That is a number 21 ranked opponent there in Ohio Wesleyan, and obviously the alma mater of Coach Yost there, so maybe some of the coordination done there before they turn home for their first game at the Rock Bowl is their stadium name. They'll play Beloit College. And a lot of other scheduled games for them involve schools from Wisconsin and Illinois, as I mentioned before. So kind of an interesting conference, the American Rivers Conference. Capital trying to get some pressure on this net here. Doherty trying to keep it on. They'll have to play it all the way back. Yoakum now sends it forward up the far sideline. Headered. It's down on the turf again. Hess runs into traffic. There to back it up. Epstein sends it towards net, and Johnson goes up and gets it. So a good little push there from Cap. Nothing comes of it, but you like to see some possession down there in front of the Loras net. So Johnson dribbles that one up all the way to the 20-yard line or so. Capital now gets the free possession out of it. Something developing, maybe. And the pass goes too far on the far sideline. There were some scores in OAC action yesterday. Thursday, for some reason, a busy day in the OAC. We'll start it off with Baldwin Wallace. They took on the College of Worcester and defeated them 2-1. Kenyon College got the best of Ohio Northern. That was a 6-2 game. Some OAC NCAC action there. One more between those two conferences. DePauw defeated Wilmington 3-1. And then some other scores. Mount Union defeats Washington and Jefferson of PA 3-1. Defiance and Heidelberg played to a 1-1 draw. Same with Marietta and Chatham, 2-2 draw there. Otterbein defeated Center out of PA 4-1. Carnegie Mellon a 1-0 win against Muskingum, which is a little bit interesting. The Muskies usually not in the most competitive games, especially early in the season. And maybe seeing some progress out of that program. Don't want to read too much into one game, but interesting to keep an eye on Muskingum. The last score to bring across is actually another OAC NCAC game, and that is John Carroll, the defending OAC champs. They defeated Oberlin by a count of 2-0. Plenty of games tomorrow as well in OAC play. Otterbein's playing Trine, Oberlin and Ohio Northern. Chatham will play Baldwin Wallace after playing Marietta. Center will play Wilmington after playing Otterbein. Muskingum in action against Bethany. John Carroll and Kenyon tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. That's an awesome game. Case Western and Capital, and then Heidelberg and Adrian. So Kenyon and John Carroll trying to kind of highlight that match, the matchups tomorrow. Another swing attempt into the box here from Cap gets blocked out. They're going to try the near sideline now. Nice move by Campbell. Campbell still has it. And they're going to call a foul against Campbell. The defender hit the ground there, so thought Campbell was going to have some room to operate, but not the case. On the header here, Kasuji wins it first, but it's swung back upfield by Loras. And now some speed being shown up on the upside of the field. Looks like Puckett got taken down, and he did. So the foul is called against Loras. Not a yellow card. Looked like it might have been for a second. Sexton will take the free kick here for Capital. Harris getting ready to check back in for Capital. Trying to get some more firepower out there offensively. So Reed will check back in for Loras, and Harris will check back in for Capital. Harris is going to replace, let's see here. Not Fange this time. He's going to replace McComb, I believe. Yeah, that's 27, so it makes sense. You take out McComb there, kind of a defensive midfielder, and replace him with another attacker there. Loras is going to make another sub here, actually. Clock is stopped during all this time, so there's no stalling or anything going on. And checking back in is number 7, Alex Bousselet. That one goes harmlessly into the box to Johnson. Carson Woods checks out for Bousselet, and Taylor Soule replaced by Noah Reed. 32:40 to play. Capital trying to find something here offensively, still chasing the one goal here scored very early here in half number 2. At least in Capital's favor, they've kept some pressure on here. We've been looking a lot to the left here in the second half, which is good. The bad news is they're playing uphill right now, trying to tie this game. Nice play by Reed. Gets it to Ramirez. Loras wanted a handball there. They didn't get one, but they do have possession anyway. They send it upfield. Rodriguez with a controlling header. Bousselet up the sideline. Gets it to Rodriguez. Back to Bousselet. Bousselet tries to cross. No one is home on the back end at all. And that's going to go out of bounds. Right idea from Bousselet, but no one, and I mean no one, was there to help. Harris headers it towards Hess. Hess, unable to get past the giant wall that is block on the other side. Rodriguez with a nice move. And Cap clears off of him afterwards. Hess with the long throw in now. Out of bounds off of Loras again. Another throw in coming for Capital. Need something to get going. Someone's got to start a spark here for this Capital offense. It's Harris now. Harris kind of miskicked it, but Loras will do it a favor and send it out of bounds anyway. So now maybe a throw in here from Puckett or Campbell can start something up here for Capital. Still getting outshot now, and this one's 7-2. So here comes the throw in, and it goes right to Johnson. Disappointing result on the throw in there. Not much they can do. It was actually Harris who threw it in there for Capital, not the defender. Usually you see the offense not taking part in the throw-in process, but this time they tried it. Out of bounds. Puckett was on the opposite end of the field as a defender up there, so there is something to be said about not throwing, having him come to the other side of the field. But they used to do that a lot with Greg Knox. He was one of the best I've seen do it on the deep throw-ins. Former Comet here, and he would throw it in from anywhere that was close. They'd find a way to get him involved. Johnson vacates the net here. Nice move, and he's able to scoop that one away from Harris. Johnson now punts. He's got a lot of leg across the 35, and down goes Caruso. Quickly played by Doherty now. Epstein nowhere near Hess. Johnson clears again. That is off of Capital. Substitution as Soul's going to come back on here for Loras. And he replaces Bousselet. Throw-in coming from block here. Low line drive throw-in. It tips off of Capital, and it's going to be a corner kick, I think, here. Yeah, it will be. Puckett tried to save it. So Soul up here last time had the corner kick that turned into a goal for Loras. Doherty is setting up the defense now for Capital. Off of the code words there from Coach Yost. Swung in. Oh, it hits off a block, and then he hit off of Capital on the way through. Great ball from Soul again. And that was definitely Jared Block who got his head on it first, the 6'4" senior out of, again, Dubuque, Iowa, hometown player. Soul now, not as much of a good placement of this one. And Cap is out and running. Fange kicks it too far, out of bounds. Mitch Hughes pacing the sideline next to Coach Yost. Probably wishing he could get back out there. Capital will win a throw-in on the far end of the field. And now Fange comes up a little bit lame, and the throw-in from Capital goes now to Loras. And Loras will get another throw-in out of this. So Block will throw it in. 26.5 minutes left to play, second half action. And time is just kind of ticking away right now for Capital. Haven't really got anything developing in the last few minutes. Block will throw it in from the high sideline. And it's a pretty good spot. Hits off of Yoakum, hits a few players now. And off of a couple of ricochets, it comes all the way out to Harris. Harris, excellent move to get past Sampson. And Brandt steps up for a big-time stop of momentum there. That looked like it was going to be a big collision potentially. Doherty now stops Rodriguez from a run. And Fange got caught in between trying to play offense and defense. Nice recovery to get in the passing lane. And it's sent upfield for Harris. Once again stopped by Brandt. Brandt finds Fange. And now Cap has a run here off the turnover. Kasuji battling. And turns it over. Now Rodriguez. Nice move to get past Campbell. Epstein's there to help. Rodriguez doesn't have much movement here and found a man in front of him. Nicely done. And now it's kicked out of bounds. A corner kick one here by Ramirez. Another sub again. Busele checks back in. Keeping fresh bodies out there for Loras Capital. Meanwhile, hasn't really used anyone outside of Harris. Harris for 28 minutes now and counting. 14 minutes for Abdelghani. And 3 for Hesse at the end of the half. That's it. That one had a lot of leg from Sol. Goes over everybody's head. And Capital able to get a foul. And after these kind of slowdowns in play here to set up free kicks, you take a look at the scoreboard and you see 2-3 minutes off the clock. And that's the case here, 24, almost under 24 now. And time is ticking here for Capital. Still plenty of time to develop something, but you really need to get some momentum going now before it's too late. It's going to be Abdelghani to come back in first for Capital. They have a few more players than normal that we saw from the first half warming up down there. So maybe we'll see a little bit more action with substitutions, trying to find some offense at the end of the game here. Kasuji with a bad touch there. Oh, okay. And Kasuji letting some frustration out there. So that was kind of a weird, just to kind of break down what happened there. Kasuji just kicked it out of bounds and too much kick on it. And then the goalkeeper, the backup goalkeeper, gave the ball right to the Loras player to throw it right back in. But subs were happening, so Kasuji somewhat aggressively kind of took the ball away, slapped it away from the defender, and then kind of grabbed it himself while the subs were coming on and also allowing his defense to get back. And maybe Loras thought that was kind of a delay of game tactic because there was a little bit of a shove that didn't connect between the two players, and whistles blew, and the subs came on, and that was that. So kind of a situation that could have got a little bit tense there on the sideline. Rodriguez is the only purple jersey near that ball, but didn't get anywhere close to it with 3 defenders on him. And we're under 22 minutes now. So once again, we kind of catch our breath, and 2 minutes are off the clock. Can Cap get something generated here? Still working with just 3 shots. 1 here in the half. Hasn't been any saves made on the other side. The 3 shots either wide or blocked for Capital so far. Only 1 save made by Sexton of the 7 shots taken by Loras. 1 obviously found the back of the net. 5 of them not on goal. If there's a single statistic that kind of tells the story in this one, more so than the shots, would be the corner kick opportunities, 10-2 in favor of Loras there now. No whistle as 2 players, Cap and Loras, both hit the deck. Good win. That should be Cap ball. No, never mind, I guess. Rodriguez gets the call off of the foot of Campbell. Ball's thrown into newly inserted number 22. That's Woods again, Carson Woods, checking back in for Loras. Good defense here. They're going to call a foul. Foul's called against Yoakum. Might have caught the face there a little bit of the attacker there from Loras. It'll be Woods to play it in. That was Taylor Soul who was working there. Interesting that Woods takes this, not Soul, after the last corner. This isn't exactly a corner kick, but it's pretty similar. And Cap trying to get organized. Abdel Ghani was called too close to the ball there, so they have to re-kick it. Nice punch from Sexton with the left hand, reaching around the defender and able to punch it away. Kicked out of bounds, and now Hess getting ready to come back in. Abdel Ghani, when he checked in, he did come in for Hess, so Hess has played 67 of the 70 minutes. He's going to get a 3-minute breather here and then come right back in. We'll see who he comes in for this time. He comes in for Campbell, so they try to go even more offensive here. We'll see if they even go to a 3-man defense. And that's exactly what they're doing. This is Epstein, spinning in circles, spinorama off the foot of Harris, and Johnson harmlessly. We are now under 18 minutes. Sent upfield. Off of the foot of Hess and into the crowd. Still 3 subs for Capital warming up, but they're really not doing much of any kind of stretching or really intensive running at this point. And I don't know if that means they're ready or if they're still just kind of moseying around, not anticipating coming in. Keep an eye on that. Capital trying to get this ball out of their side of the field. Nice footwork here on the other side for Cardenas, and his cross is picked out of the air by Sexton. Bomb from Sexton. Headed right down to the turf. Spinning around, Harris with a high foot to try to knock it down. Fonge's there. Headed away by Doherty. And Hess is trying to drop back defensively to get back into kind of a 4-man defensive alignment. Doherty defends one-on-one. The ball into the corner already, and Woods is playing the corner game with 16 minutes left to play. He was trying to draw a corner kick. That's usually kind of a stall tactic in the final minute. And it just kind of developed for some reason into one. Trying to win a corner kick instead gave Capital a throw-in. And now the Comets will try to methodically get it up the field here. All right, so we have some rounds of Capital subs getting ready to come on. Keegan Reese and Brendan Hesse, who we saw for a little bit there at the end of the first half. That one's off of Mooch. So those two check on for Capital. Checking back on the other side is Matt Williams. Capital still has 2 guys down there on the high end of the field. And now they're starting to get into some sprints. So I don't think we're seeing the last sub here from Capital in this one. Free kick coming here for Loras now. Woods will take it again. Capital will have a 2-man wall in front of him here to try to guard that near post. Ball is swung in towards the far post. Sexton got a piece and then picks it out of the air. Nice play there by Sexton on the recovery. And now punts it upfield, trying to find Harris in space. Unable to find him. Fonge. Mooge. That pass was a little bit off. And now Hess is there to clean it up, and he has to clear it. Not the most crisp passing there. Johnson comes all the way out of the net to field it. And he will pick it up now. So Cap on the attack once again, or on the defense once again. And a simple, perfectly executed corner kick right now. The difference as Sexton falls on top of that one. I feel like an equal, or one more here from Loras probably puts this thing away. Cap is just hoping to tie this thing and force some extra time. Hess finds Abdelghani. Nice spin move. Gets it to Fonge. Not controlled cleanly. Once again, the passing not 100% where it needs to be. Definitely some first game of the season issues, we'll call it, going on right now from Capital. Not the most crisp passing that we've seen from this team. Doherty barking out instructions, trying to take that leadership role as the center back. Doherty at midfield. Doherty off the head of Abdelghani. And a good run from Kasuji. He's in the box. It's played back out on a header and cleared upfield once again. Stepping in front. Yoakum, nice effort. Hesse. And a foul is called against Loras. Free kick for Puckett. 12:42 to play. It's officially go time here. Need a really good ball here from Puckett, whether it's something at the net that forces some action here, or if it's a ball that he tries to set up a teammate on. One of the players here is cramping up, it looks like, for Loras. Abdelghani was actually trying to help him kind of stretch that out. That's Taylor Soul again, the freshman. So checking in now for Loras. That appears to be Owen Ivanuk. Actually, that's Ramirez. Sorry, coming in for Ivanuk. No, it was Ivanuk. Ramirez was sneaking in some water there, so he looks like the substitute. Soul is still off, so Loras is a man down right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, they're good. Ramirez must have snuck on from the sideline there. Looked like Ivanuk was going to replace the injured Soul, but it's actually Ramirez who came on, and Ivanuk is still waiting to check in. Sorry for the confusion. Oh, excellent effort here by Bousselet. Takes it away from 3 Capital players. And now a counterattack coming for Loras. Woods working one-on-one with Yoakum. Woods, shot is blocked, and a corner kick coming. So Bousselet makes the action happen there as it was played back to the defense. Here's the corner kick. And nothing threatening from that one. That goes off of Loras now on the far sideline, so Capital has a little bit of action now. Some subs on the other side is Miklovic, the goal scorer, is looking ready to come back in. Soul as well after cramping. And Ivanuk we mentioned already. So 3 subs will come on for Loras here when they get a stoppage. 11 minutes to play. There's a foul against Loras. Now who takes this kick here. Puckett is an option. Fangay looks like he's going to take it. And maybe part of this is because Puckett is a big target as well. So he could be someone that you get into the box to get some action down there. Only one sub here as Woods comes off for Seoul. The other two for Loras still stay on the sideline here. The kick is going to be taken by Fangay, it looks like. Puckett does go into the box to try to give themselves another option goal scoring wise. Makes sense. 10:39 to play. Fangay puts his hands up, shoots one in, low line drive. It's down on the foot of a Capital player. The shot is blocked, and the kick here is through the uprights high off of the foot of Keegan Reese. So nicely done on the kick there, actually, to drive it in low. It found the foot of its target. And then a follow-up from Keegan Reese too high after the initial shot is blocked. That was Colton Doherty who had the first shot attempt there. Under 10 minutes to play. A goal in the 48th minute, just the third minute of the second half, is the difference in this ball game right now. A corner kick from Taylor Soul to Reed Miklovic. That looked like a handball there, but I guess no one on the field agreed. So maybe I just seen that wrong. Just kind of came off weird there of Owen Ivanuk. Loras will keep possession. Harris has possession now for Capital. 8:38 to play. Hess, not where it needed to be. Another pass that's not the best. Gonna be some interesting film from this one. I feel like there's some passing there that can be improved and would definitely keep some of these pushes towards the net a little bit more active than they have been. First game of the year, so some of that rust, you can see it. And not just on the Capital side, both sides. Again, I still don't know what happened with the that situation where Ramirez technically was credited with a shot that hit the post. I mean, that looked like it definitely should have been a goal for Loras early on. And maybe some of their sloppiness in the early going could be attributed to some of that rust. 7:39 to play. Good battle here from Harris. Looked like he was kind of getting held. Hesse plays it up the field. Puckett tried a turn and go move. Fangay comes away with it. His cross is cleared away. Epstein is checked back in for Abdelghani, by the way. That's who we see here. Oh, he got held. Oh, they called the hold against Epstein. There's some conversation right now between Kasuji and Noah Reed, and it's getting a little bit more physical. Some players breaking it up, and I don't know where the officials are right now. Hello? Something going on there. Kasuji and Reed keep talking, and it's a good job by Harris to kind of try to break this up. Reed is not letting it go, and he's just kind of pacing around following Kasuji. And it led to kind of some shoving, more bumping, I guess, than shoving. There's a shove. Oh, my goodness. That should have been a foul, as Hesse definitely got away with a shove there. And it's starting to get a little bit more chippy here. Loras has a sub, so does Capital. Checking in for Capital, Caruso checks back in. On the other side, number 42, Brant Perry checks in. Kasuji and Reed were definitely kind of, I don't want to say shoving, but there was some bumping back and forth between them, and they're still going at it a little bit here on the near side of the field. You can see the two players right now, they're about the 10-yard line. And they finally seem to have some space between them. That was weird. A lot of conversation going on between those two. And the officials, again, I don't know what they were looking at. It was right in front of the coaches. The coaches were motioning to say, hey, let's control this. That ball hits the flag stick. And a throw-in coming for Loras. 5 minutes left to play. Good cross in front of the net. And that ball, I think, hit my car in the Mountain Street parking there. Off of the foot of Perry. 4.5 minutes to play. Capital trying to organize here. They have plenty of time, but they need the possession. Here's the cross. Harris goes down. Couple players go down. It's still a live ball. Hess sends it in, and it's kicked back out. Players and bodies flailing everywhere, but nothing generates a goal, and now we're in trouble the other way. Perry has a lot of room. And a clean slide tackle. What a play defensively there by Puckett. Puckett saves a goal on an excellent move defensively now, and Cap trying to get a counter out of it. Vange, Hess, and no one's home. That was Caruso on that last header. Johnson now will run some clock off. And you'll likely see Loras try to work this down into the corner now. Another slide tackle from behind on Perry. Cleared away by Puckett. 2:53 to play. Fange needs this one. He did get the touch on it, but it bounces out to Loras. No one home there, and that should be a throw-in for Cap unless it was tipped. It was not. Colton Doherty will check in, and he replaces Hess. Some subs as well for Loras. Checking back in is Jose Cardenas, as well as Danny Galeana Torres. Cardenas sends it forward. Hesse wins it for Cap. And cleared away. Nice steal from Hesse. Total panic mode here from Capital, trying to keep this frenetic pace going and generate a chance. Still sitting on, actually they've gotten up to 5 shots now, but nothing's been on goal. No shots on goal for Capital in this contest as we enter the game's 89th minute. 5 shots, none on goal. They've only allowed 9 shots and only allowed 2 shots, or 3 shots on goal. Doherty has made now, or Sexton has made a save, and Keegan Reese was actually credited with a save. After that last kind of freneticness in front of the net on the corner kick. That was about 10 minutes ago. And Coach Yost says, win every ball. It's a pretty good coaching comment here, as they can't afford to turn this thing over here. Value the ball for 80 seconds and try to find one last go at it. Fange wins the 50-50 ball, takes the shot high over the crossbar. So with a minute 5 left now, this is going to just be bombed downfield by Johnson, and Capital's going to have to win possession quickly and get it upfield. Johnson kicks it as far as he can, and it gets to about the 50-yard line, bounces twice. Puckett sends it right back to where it came from. Very high in the air. Ball comes out to Doherty. Plenty of time if he can control here, 40 seconds. Puts it down on the turf, swings it in. Header won initially by Loras, controlled by Fange. Still loose, still loose. Fange uses a shoulder. Cardenas sends it up into the crowd, and we need a ball. That ball's live. Doherty to Fange, and it's headed away. 15 seconds, get that ball in. Time, actually a foul is called against Capital, and that's going to do it.
8, 7, 6.
Loras will not send this ball back into play. Teams will shake hands, and that'll do it. A little bit of a disappointing here first night, but Capital hung in there with a really good team here, this Loras College team, holding them to just 3 shots on goal. Defensive effort was there. There was about 12 seconds of excellent soccer played from the other side of Loras on a corner kick from Sol to McClavic, and that was all that was needed for Loras College, the Dewhawks, to come in and get a win. Congratulations to Coach McCarthy again on his Hall of Fame induction last year in 2021, and gets the homecoming victory for himself as well. The head coach on the other side there for Loras College. So we'll do it again, same time, same place tomorrow night. Case Western in town to take on Capital, and that'll be the next matchup we see here. We have a couple other broadcasts scheduled throughout September, and of course we'll have all the OAC action for you once that play starts up in October. We thank you for joining us here on opening night, and we'll see if Cap can get on the scoreboard tomorrow. Maybe that's the day. Case Western in town. We'll try to split the weekend here from Bernlohr. Signing off, I'm Jimmy Bloomfield. Thanks again for tuning in, and we're excited to have you back this year, another year of Capital soccer on both the men's and women's side. And we hope to see some exciting action throughout the year. Final score here in the opener for the men, a 1-0 victory for Loras College. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, 6:50 starting the broadcast. You guys have a great one out there.